Hello, hello, beautiful people. We're back at it again. I am going to go over some of the indicators that are used for my setups, to identify my setups and my entry points. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So in the indicators list on TradingView, one of the things you're going to search for is the breakout finder. The breakout finder is what I use to identify my supply and demand zones on the 4-hour time frame. And this breakout finder is by Lonesome the and a couple dots behind it. Just look for the name. This should probably be the only one. The second indicator that I use is the simple moving averages by stocks inbox. This is the one that will change the colors from red to green according to whether the market is buying or selling. And the last indicator that I use is the imbalance finder by traveling underscore TRAV and some change dot dot dot. When you go to search for that indicator, you'll look for this name. Now let's take a look at the settings for the three that I use. The imbalance finder is this one right here. The inputs are 5 and 2 and everything is pretty much standard. I did change the color to yellow at the bottom to identify the gaps in the market. I believe I have the imbalance inputs in the status line selected. As far as the style, I like to use the boxes only because it helps me identify the zones. The visibility on all these indicators that I go over are all going to be selected. I do not mess with this tab at all. The next indicator is the simple moving average, and the inputs for this is 50 close SMA number 1. You don't have to worry about SMA number 2, 3, and 4 because in the style, I only have the SMA number 1 selected. I have green on the top to indicate when the market is in an uptrend for buying, and I have red on the bottom to indicate when the market or price is below the line for sale. The next indicator I have is the breakout finder, and in my inputs for this, I have 2 at a 200 max breakout length. The colors are red and blue. The blue to identify my demand zone for a buy, and my red to identify my supply zone for a sell. For the style, I don't have any of these boxes at the top selected. I typically use the line, so this will be selected. And to give you an idea of what that looks like, I'm on a DXY on the 4-hour time frame. And what I would do is identify my blue box, and then I'll use the rectangle indicator, or I mean tool, excuse me, tool from TradingView, and I will identify the last selling candle before the blue box and mark that zone up from the open to the close, including the wicks. And then I will usually highlight that color blue to indicate a buy in this area. So when market came down here, I was able to get like a small buy before it starts to sell. You can still use this zone once it's violated for a sale. And as you can see with the gaps that was created, the gaps that was created from this breaking structure below, price did go back up and almost fill 50% of this gap. So that's how I use that indicator, the imbalance finder, to identify where the market broke out and didn't retest. I look for those areas. So here is where I'm looking for market to fill this imbalance here. Um, so this one was filled by this pullback here. So that's how I use that indicator. And then the last one, the simple moving average, is where I typically use on the 15-minute time frame, where I am identifying my change in direction, change of character, however you want to call it, pretty much where I'm able to identify when the market is changing directions from a buy to a sell or from a sell to a buy. I'm going to go ahead and find a simple area for you to show you. So notice this market had been trending down underneath prices underneath the trend line is red on top. And so at some point, the market made a low. It did not go lower right here. There was a change in direction from this red breakout from the box. So I'll mark this area up for the buy, wait for the retest. And for some people, they'll jump in the trade once they get a engulfing candle, or they'll wait until prices above the simple moving average. This is a 50 simple moving average. This tells me that the market is respecting this simple moving average and it is in an uptrend and when it is buying. So that's all I use for indicators now moving forward. Eventually, who knows, I might decide to not use any in trade naked. But for now, I kind of like my strategy. It's very simple and it's very easy to learn. Stay tuned for more videos. I will be doing a market analysis here shortly. I love everyone. Happy trading. Good luck and have a good week.